Ralph Carter stands as one of the most memorable figures in 1970s American television. Best known for his role as Michael Evans on the hit sitcom Good Times, Carter's life and career reflect both the extraordinary promise and complex realities of early stardom. From a celebrated stage debut to the challenges of sustaining fame, his journey offers insight into the evolution of black representation in American entertainment and the personal cost of growing up in the spotlight. Born on May 30, 1961, in New York City, Ralph Carter came into the world at a time of significant social transformation in the United States. Raised in the dynamic and culturally rich borough of Manhattan, Carter was immersed in an environment where art, activism, and ambition frequently intersected. From an early age, it was clear that he possessed a rare and precocious talent. With a natural charisma and deep emotional sensitivity, Carter gravitated toward performance, specifically the stage. His professional career began when he was just a child, a period when many children were only beginning to explore their interests. For Carter, however, the spotlight was not a curiosity but a calling. It would not take long before Broadway took notice. Carter's major breakthrough came in 1973 when he was cast in Raisin, a musical adaptation of Lorraine Hansberry's groundbreaking play, A Raisin in the Sun. He portrayed Travis Younger, the young son of Lena Younger, played by Ernestine Jackson on stage, in a role that required depth beyond his years. Raisin told the story of a black family's struggles with poverty and dreams for a better life in segregated America, and Carter's performance added both innocence and poignancy to the production. His portrayal won critical acclaim and numerous awards. He received the Drama Desk Award for Most Promising Performer and the Theatre World Award, and was nominated for a Tony Award for Best Featured Actor in a Musical, an extraordinary achievement for a teenager. His performance cemented his reputation as a rising star and led directly to his next and most iconic role. While performing in Raisin, Carter caught the attention of television producer Norman Lear, who was in the process of casting for Good Times, a new sitcom that would become a cultural phenomenon. Lear bought Carter out of his Broadway contract so he could star as Michael Evans, the youngest son in the Evans family, whose trials and triumphs as a working-class black family in Chicago were central to the show's premise. Good Times premiered in 1974 and quickly became a hit. It was one of the first American television shows to depict an African-American family navigating economic hardship, systemic racism, and intergenerational conflict. Carter's character, Michael, was notable for his intelligence, social consciousness, and political awareness. Often called the militant midget by his older brother Jay, played by Jimmy Walker, Michael served as the show's youthful idealist, voicing the frustrations and hopes of a generation eager for equality and change. Through Michael, Carter portrayed a new image of black youth on television, one that was proud, defiant, and intellectually engaged. His role was not merely entertainment, it was social commentary wrapped in humor and familial love. For millions of viewers, Carter became the embodiment of a better future, one in which young black voices demanded to be heard. While basking in the success of Good Times, Carter also explored a career in music. In 1975, he released the album Young and in Love, which reflected the pop soul style of the era. The title track, When You're Young and in Love, achieved modest success, reaching the top 10 on the Billboard R&B chart. Although the album didn't launch him into musical superstardom, it showcased his versatility and the breadth of his talents. Carter's personal life remained relatively shielded from the public eye. He married and became a father, focusing on his family and community rather than chasing the uncertain rewards of a prolonged entertainment career. He also participated in reunions, interviews, and fan events where he continued to be celebrated for his role in one of America's most iconic sitcoms. Although Ralph Carter's time in the spotlight was relatively brief, his impact on American culture is enduring. As Michael Evans, he helped redefine the portrayal of African American youth on television. At a time when few black families were shown on screen, Good Times offered a complex, sometimes painful, yet often hopeful narrative. Carter's character, in particular, presented a vision of intellectual curiosity and political engagement that inspired many viewers, especially young people. His early achievements on Broadway also contributed to the diversification of American theater, demonstrating that young black performers could bring nuance and power to complex roles. His awards and nominations remain a testament to the high regard in which his peers and critics held him. Ralph Carter may not be among the multi-millionaire celebrities of Hollywood, but his financial journey tells a compelling story, one marked by early fame, calculated decisions, and a life grounded in privacy and stability. As of the mid-2020s, Ralph Carter's net worth is estimated to be around $1 million to $1.5 million. While this figure may seem modest compared to many television stars, especially in today's industry, it represents a steady and respectable accumulation of wealth built on a foundation of early achievement and long-term financial discretion. Carter began his professional acting career at a young age, with his first major success arriving on Broadway. His role in the Tony Award-winning musical Raisin, 1973, not only earned him critical acclaim but also likely brought in a significant income for a teenage actor. While theater salaries are not as lucrative as television earnings, starring in a major Broadway production for multiple seasons can provide a solid financial start, especially when accompanied by awards and national attention. However, it's important to note that child actors at that time rarely had comprehensive financial protections in place. Although laws like the Coogan Law, designed to protect child actors' earnings, existed, they were not always applied consistently, and it's unclear how Carter's earnings were managed during his youth. Carter's most substantial financial windfall came from his time on the CBS sitcom Good Times, which aired from 1974 to 1979. Playing Michael Evans, Carter was one of the principal cast members for the entirety of the show's six-season run. Though television actor salaries in the 1970s were not as high as they are today, leads in successful primetime series could still command respectable per-episode payments. Estimates vary, but child and teen actors on network sitcoms during that period might earn anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 per episode, with salaries increasing incrementally each season. Over 133 episodes, Ralph Carter likely earned several $100,000 from Good Times alone, an amount that, if invested or managed wisely, could support a lifetime of moderate wealth. However, syndication royalties were a different story. Unlike stars of later shows who secured lucrative residuals, actors on shows like Good Times often did not benefit significantly from rerun deals. Contracts from that era did not always guarantee long-term syndication payments unless explicitly negotiated. As a result, Carter likely received minimal financial benefit from the show's decades-long presence in syndication. In 1975, Carter released the album Young and in Love, which included a minor hit, When You're Young and in Love. The single charted on Billboard's R&B list, and Carter even performed it on television shows like Soul Train. While the release brought him some fame in the music world, it did not generate significant long-term revenue. Music royalties, especially for short-lived recording careers, tend to be modest unless backed by hit records, touring, and ongoing publishing rights. Carter's music income likely provided a financial bump during the mid-1970s, but did not add much to his long-term net worth. After Good Times ended, Carter chose to step away from the entertainment industry's fast-paced world. He made only sporadic public appearances and stage performances, and did not maintain a high-profile television or film career. This deliberate withdrawal likely limited his income potential, but also allowed him to avoid the financial and emotional toll that affected many child stars of his generation. There is no public record of Carter engaging in high-end endorsements, business ventures, or major real estate investments. He lived a relatively private and low-key life, reportedly involved in community and arts-related activities. Unlike some stars who venture into risky financial territory, Carter appears to have opted for a conservative lifestyle, contributing to his financial stability. Taking all of this into account, his earnings from Broadway, Good Times, his music career, and his limited public activity afterward, it is reasonable to estimate Ralph Carter's net worth at approximately $1 million to $1.5 million. This net worth reflects a career that peaked early, brought national recognition, and was followed by a quiet and financially prudent life. While he may not live in the lap of luxury, Carter is not believed to be facing financial hardship either. His story stands in contrast to many other child stars who struggled with bankruptcy, legal battles, or substance abuse. Instead, Ralph Carter offers an example of a young celebrity who capitalized on early fame, lived within his means, and managed to secure a stable, if modest, financial legacy. Ralph Carter's net worth might not dominate headlines, but his financial story is one of measured success and responsible living. He represents a generation of performers who made a deep impact during a transformative period for Black entertainment, but did so without the high salaries and endorsement deals common today. His wealth lies not only in dollars but in the respect and admiration of fans who still recall his powerful performances and the grounded life he chose to live. Ralph Carter's life is a testament to early brilliance, artistic integrity, and the importance of choosing one's own path. From the stages of Broadway to the living rooms of millions of Americans, he captured hearts and minds with performances that were as thoughtful as they were entertaining. While he may not have pursued a long-term career in the public eye, his influence endures. Ralph Carter's legacy is not only found in reruns of Good Times or cast reunions, it lives on in the doors he helped open and the inspiration he provided to generations of performers and viewers alike.
You don't have to be